Today we are venturing up the hill behind us to go hang out with the locals that live inside Berat Castle.
And we are on the side of the mountain, so wherever we go, there's a hill. So Kim pretty much takes care of our Airbnbs, and one thing that she is really good at and very consistent with is making sure that we are on the top floor of at least a 4-story building and that there are no elevators. No complaints about this place though, because the stairs are outside and it is beautiful.
Hello, bugs! After climbing a massive hill, not only am I out of breath, but my calves are on fire. We have made it to Berat Castle. Now we're headed to the ticket office to buy our tickets. They cost 100 lek, which is a little less than $1 US.
What's funny about this is that there's no gate or fence to keep you from going around the turnstiles. In fact, it's easier to walk past them than it is through them, but we let them count us.
While we're not in the mood for a tablecloth, which there are plenty behind us, we have been told there are coffee shops and restaurants inside, so we are on the hunt for coffee. Inside the castle walls, at one point, there were up to 35 different churches built starting back in the 15th century. 10 of those churches remain, and we're off to go find at least one of them.
We rounded a corner and unexpectedly ran into 2 churches. Behind me is the Church of St. Nicholas, which is one of the newer churches here, built in the 1500s, late 1500s. And then on the other side here is the Church of St. Mary Blacherna, one of the oldest churches in Berat. It was built in the 1200s. We have won the church finding lottery. This is the Church of St. Trinity. It was built in the medieval Roman times. I think a lot of times we forget that the Roman Empire was alive, if not very well, during the medieval time in Eastern Europe. It was built around the 1300s, although they're unsure of exactly when it was built, and it's got the very typical medieval Byzantine structure of being in the form of a cross with a dome on the top.
I'm walking along what remains of the White Mosque, which was built in the early 1400s. Most of it was destroyed in the 1800s as the Ottoman rule of the area declined. But it is quite beautiful, and you can see how immense it was. One of the things I love about Berat Castle is it's a town inside an actual castle, and people still live here.
We have stopped for coffee number 2 in this really cool, eclectic little cafe at the top of the castle. I don't want to give away my age too much, but when I started playing tennis, I used a racket just like that.
After that much needed second cup of coffee, we are off to do some more exploring. I am standing in front of the ruins of the Red Mosque. The Red Mosque is one of the oldest mosques in Albania, and it was built back in the early 1400s during the time of the Ottoman conquest. It was used as a stopping point for caravans as they crossed the continent. we found found another church, surprise, the Church of St. George, and it's open. Now we're on our way to the lookout, which overlooks the Asumi River and the whole valley.
We are at the farthest edge of the castle, and about 1,000 feet below me is the Asumi River, and a part of the city known as the area with 1,000 windows. And then just across the river is the second part of Berat.
Our timing is pretty spot on. We're leaving the overlook just as a tour group arrives.
Obviously the inside of the castle, like inside the walls, is really not that big. But these medieval winding streets are so confusing. I think I would totally get lost up here. There's no way I could live up here. I'd never make it home. If you're gonna get lost in a city, this is the place. Hello, Bashkim, how are you?
Fine, thank you. You are welcome again.
So we found Bashkim's place. It is written up in The Guardian, and we ordered some traditional Albanian food, moussaka, which is sort of like, he described it as lasagna, but with potatoes, no noodles.
Right, no pasta. And it's got a really interesting flavor, and I mean that in a really good way. And then a pumpkin pie, although obviously not what we're thinking about if you're American.
It's not sweet, it's savory.
So the pumpkin pie is definitely a savory dish, and it's pretty good. It has the phyllo dough, and it's cooked in some oil, and it has a slight squashy pumpkin taste.
And
meatballs with oven-fried potatoes. Wow. I'll tell you, the Balkans have the meats down. This is so rich and flavorful, and yeah, I'll finish these up.
so Wei's favorite are the meatballs, and I have to say my favorite's probably the moussaka. And the one thing I have determined Albanian food is, it's comfort food. It's just everywhere we go, there's not an overwhelming flavor profile. It's just good, solid, warming comfort food.
But it's original. It's original, and this has product my father.
Your father made this?
Yes. It is everything. Every Iraqi here in my restaurant is original, is bio. And this has 6 years old. Cheers. You are welcome in Albania. Good appetite. The bottle is here.
There's Wei pouring himself some more raki before we head to our last stop on Rufri Museum. We've told that it's a must-see, and that includes a lot of the major icons from around Albania, right here in Berat. We're not big fans of videoing inside museum. The museum, it costs about 200 lek to get in, which is just under $2.
It has some of the best art from all over Albania here. It is an absolutely beautiful place, and as Kim mentioned, people still live here, so there's shops and there's coffee houses, and easily spend a day here.
It is still surrounded by the original stone walls, and there are 24 watchtowers, one of which is right behind us, that protected the inhabitants of the castle. And now that we've had a lovely comfort food rich lunch, some raki, and meandered many alleyways, it is time to head home for a nap. We'll see you next time.
Our next stop is the Prepuce.
That's all you're gonna say? 10 stops inside of, no, not 10 stops, but 10 steps.
You're from?
America.
America. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.